This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. I am Rajni Jain on behalf of agricultureinformation.com. I'd like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good morning, everyone. I am Lakshmipati and I'll be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Mr. Rajendra Kumar, Business Development Manager for South and East Asia from Cravo Equipment Limited, Canada. Mr. Rajendra Kumar will be speaking on the topic Big Potential for Apple Cultivation in Unconventional Locations. I now request the speaker to begin.
Thank you, Lakshmipati ji, and thank you,
Please.
agricultureinformation.com. Good morning, namaste, sat sri akal to all the participants. So I will be speaking on a very important topic today. It is that strategy to increase the productivity and quality of apple crop in unconventional growing areas. I have made a little change in my title actually. So I will be working on the strategy, that what strategies would we have. So before actually going for this strategy, I just want to make you aware that when apple production started in 1960 something like in India, that it was nowhere in the bird map actually. Although that it started actually early 1800, but it was nowhere in the world map till 1990 actually. So this is actually one small video that I will share with you. So I will make it a fast forward. So you can see India is nowhere in the top 10. Sorry. Sorry, there is something coming up. So you can see India appeared in top 10 in 1990, but you can see the production is very highly fluctuating in India because of erratic weather condition. So in 2011-12, India become on the 4th position in the world, but then again dropped again. Again, 2018 we have a good production in India, but if you see the last year, again we dropped drastically. So you can see that India is doing well, but not as per the international, you can say, the standards. Lakshmipati ji, I think my slide is not moving actually. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Rajendra, it's
My
moving.
organizer will be able to help you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar. Please hold on.
Mr.
Rajini,
Mr.
can you please
Rajendra
help
Kumar,
him out?
Yeah.
it's moving. Earlier it
No,
was
no, no,
1981,
no. He's
2003.
not able to. No, he's not able to go on to the next slide.
No, I'm not able to go to my next slide.
Sometimes it takes time to move the slides, but it is moving. I have seen earlier it was 1981. Now it is then 88,
No, that
then
is
2000.
one slide. Ms. Rajini, that is one slide. It is shown as moving. This is a one slide, first slide. Second slide, he wants to go.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
next slide actually. So it's not.
Yes.
You can just move back and then check it once. Go to first slide, then come back again. Sometimes it takes time for moving slides.
Okay.
Yeah, now it has gone. Now it's
So
visible.
you can see that the production in India is very highly erratic actually. Sometimes very good, and next year it's a very heavy downfall. And most of region is the erratic weather pattern, the unseasonal rain or hailstorm or some other climatic factor. So if you see that India is the one of the largest importer of the apple in the world. So in 2018 itself, we have imported to the value of 20,000 crore rupees. 20,000 crore rupees. That's a huge import of the apple. And this apple, this import is growing by 35% from 2014 to 2018. So you can see these are the top countries from where we import the apple. USA, Italy, Chile, and Turkey. They are the major countries. So now, as I told you that apple production is highly fluctuating and very low yielding in India. Most of the apple in India is grown in actually Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and some part of Northeastern states like Sikkim, Arunachal. And there are some few plantations in South India, in Ooty and Kodaikanal area also. But as I told you that production in 2020 is almost 30 to 40% less than the as it was in 2019 actually. So if you see the national yield in India is 7 to 10 tons per hectare. See this, so 7 to 10 tons per hectare, which is quite low as per the international standard of 40 to 60 tons per hectare. Some of the country like New Zealand, they are getting 160 tons per hectare. So here we are standing. So what are the reasons for this low productivity of apple? I have highlighted some of the major points that most of our orchards, which were planted in the 60s and 70s, they are old now, and they are based on the old varieties. And most of them, they are 80% actually delicious varieties like Red Delicious, Royal Delicious, Golden Delicious. So then the next major reason is the poor canopy management actually. And also you can say the lack of knowledge of the latest technology. So even our existing orchard that the pollinizer is 5 to 10% of the total number of plants actually. Pollinizers that help into the pollination actually. So in a 7 to 7 after 7 that we have a one pollinizer tree, and there is also a very poor irrigation system, or almost in most of areas it's not existing the irrigation. Though you know any irrigation, it's only rain fed whatever the rain comes, so that's the only source of irrigation. So that's also one of the major reasons. And we do a very unscientific way of apply the fertilizers without any soil analysis. So that's also one of the major reason. And lack of pollinators also, that because honeybee plays a lot of role, uh, that not only honeybee but also the other beneficial insects, they play a very good role in the pollination. So but due to indiscriminate use of chemicals, now that population is decreasing. So now that in our orchard, we need to actually put up a honeybee boxes at the right stage to have a proper pollination. So, but still, only then some of the rich grower or some progressive grower, they install the boxes, but not all the grower. The small marginal depend upon the nature also. So there is also very poor pest management and poor harvesting and handling techniques. But the major reason that decrease in the yield or productivity is the climate actually. So we have a lot of unseasonal rain and hailstorm due to the change in the climate, and that has become very erratic since 1990 onward. So it will cause heavy damage to the crop. And extreme low or high temperature during the blossom stage, means the flowering stage or setting stage, that also caused a lot of damage to the crop. During this flowering stage, that if temperature drop drastically, means that this called that frost. The frost damage is 50% every year in the high yields. So then this low temperature sometime inhibit the cross pollination also. It inhibit the activity of the honeybees and then thereby affect pollination. And you know that the most of apple that harvesting stage come in India in the monsoon period. And if you have a continuous cloudy weather or very heavy rainfall for 4 or 5 days, then that also cause the decrease in the quality and production also. So wind is also another factor. And hail cause the biggest damage in fruiting stage, or that in the most of upper region of Himachal, that every year that we lose a lot of crops due to hailstorm. So basically that apple is a temperate crop basically. It loves the cold winter, it loves the moderate, you can say that moderate sun during summer and low to medium rainfall. And apple tree, they remain dormant during winter, but require a abundant sunshine during the growing stage for the good color and taste. And it prefers the altitude between 1500 meter to 2700 meter, and need chilling hours of 500 to 1500 chilling hours. Chilling hours means that they need a night temperatures less than 7 degree for the number of hours for the bud formation or flower insertion or something like that. So temperature during growth stage is 20 to 24 degrees the west for the growing stage. So there are some low chilling varieties which can survive the temperature of 40 degrees centigrade. So this crop actually, it doesn't like a very heavy rainfall. So it like a moderate type of rainfall between 100 to 125 centimeter annually. So planting density, that's the one of the major reason of low productivity in India, because our existing orchard, they 90% or more than 90%, they have a very low planting density. means that low means that less than 500 plants per hectare. And then we have a moderate type of planting density when we have a 500 to 1000 plants per hectare. Then high between 1111 to 2222 plants per hectare. That is we call a high planting density. But now people are adopting the ultra high density for more yield and productivity. So in this ultra high density, you can have 10,000 plants per hectare, means planting spacing is 1 by 1 meter. So, but normally that 4,000 plants per hectare is considered a good planting density. And but it all depend upon actually topography also. That most of that orchard in Himachal or in Uttarakhand area, we have a low planting density because slope is very high. So it all depend upon the slope. If you have a high slope, you have a lower planting density. But if you have a relatively lesser slope or you have a slightly plain area, then planting density is high. So most of this ultra high density that is adopted in the plain area, actually in the valley areas. So there are some suitable varieties for apple actually. So I have divided this into actually 4 major zones on the basis of altitude and rainfall. So altitude between 365 to 914 meter with the rainfall 60 to 100 centimeter means the less medium type of rainfall, low rainfall area, which we call a subtropical region, just like that lower Himachal or Doab region of Punjab or Jammu Kashmir or this Haryana, this region, then Dehradun region, which we can consider as a this area where we can plant these Anna, Fuji, Red Lady, Harman. These are the low chilling variety which require between around 300 to 400 chilling hours. That some of the varieties they are almost require zero chilling or low chilling, very low chilling, means no chilling hours, like the Harman variety, which has been developed by the one of the grower in Himachal Pradesh. Then this mid-hill area, that altitude between 915 to 1523 meter, where rainfall 90 to 100 centimeter, which we call a mid-hill or sub-temperate region, where you need to have a variety like scarlet spur or cap voltage, red block, super cheap, Gale Gala, and Fuji. And altitude between 1500 to 2700 meter, and rainfall almost same, which we call the high hill area, or which we also call a temperate region, where we need some red blocks or Galaval, Hapke, Granny Smith type of varieties, which are good for those regions. And then the other region that we call a cold desert area, where altitude between 1500 to 3600 meter, rainfall very less, just like Leh Ladakh, Laur Spiti, Spiti region, Pur region of Himachal Pradesh, where you have a best suitable variety like Jeromin, Red Blocks, Super Cheap, Scarlet Spur, Gale Gala. There are a number of varieties that have been recommended by the Y.S. Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Solan. So now that you know which area is climatic requirement of this crop, so temperature and suitability of the apple areas. Low chilling varieties that require 2000 to 500 chilling hours, as I told you that if you see my cursor, so these low chilling varieties actually they are suitable for this. You can say the foothill of the Himalaya actually region in Jammu, Punjab, Himachal, Haryana, Uttarakhand, UP, and some Western Ghat region also, where you can plant these varieties. And medium chilling varieties, which require 500 to 1000 hours, that can be suitable in this region, in the mid Himalayan region, that here in Himachal, Kashmir, Srinagar, and Uttarakhand area, and also in the northeastern part of the country. And then there are the high chilling varieties that require a more chilling hours, which is a high altitude region here in the Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand, and this Leh Ladakh region here. You can plant in the valley areas. So here also that if you see the agroecological zone of India, so this zone here like this is very good for a different range of the varieties, and also some in the Western Ghat region. Just a minute.
Yes, Mr. Rajendra Kumar.
Yeah, actually, on this side, right hand side, it's appearing actually. So I'm not able to see my slides also. I
I
don't
see,
know.
okay. But we got a slide, new slide now.
Yeah, it's a new slide. So now that because we have now low chill varieties, medium chill variety, high chill varieties, and we also know the region where we can grow these varieties actually. And now we need to go through that, which are the technologies that are available to which can increase the productivity and manage the environmental factor very well. So retractable roof production is the latest technology that many advanced growers in the world, they are applying it. So you can manage the weather conditions very well with this type of technology, and bring the apple production to these lower areas, in the plain areas of this Himalayan region or northern region, and you can increase the productivity also. So I will share you another video that most of you might have seen also, but again I will share.
Today, more people around the world than ever before are integrating fruits and vegetables into their diets. And as a result, retailers want to have stock available all year round. But there are several big challenges that growers like you are facing to meet this increasing demand. Extreme inconsistent weather patterns result in inconsistent supply. Input costs are frequently rising faster than selling prices, and insects cause massive damage to crops. At the same time as consumers demand that their food is produced with minimal chemicals. So for you, the challenge is how to have predictable and consistent supply when the weather is inconsistent. For over 35 years, we've been working on the solution. Introducing the retractable roof production system, which creates a more consistent growing environment for farmers in warm and hot climates. When the weather is ideal, the roof will automatically retract, allowing the natural outdoors to come inside. When cold, rain, or hail comes, the roof will automatically close to protect the plants. And when there is high summer heat, the roof closes 80% to protect the plants from direct sun, while also allowing for ventilation and cooling. The system is very efficient, as it requires only 1 to 2 kilowatt hours of electricity per day, per hectare, and requires minimal water for cooling when temperatures exceed 5 degrees Celsius. Cravo houses have proven to resist damage from hail and major storms, such as hurricanes and cyclones. By working with Cravo, you can create optimum growing conditions year-round to produce crops with larger size, with higher yields, longer shelf life, extend your harvest season, or target a completely different harvest season. Together as partners, we will create an innovative production system to meet your market opportunities and climate challenges, while targeting a 3 to 5 year return on investment. Join us as we continue to build production systems of the future that combine nature and protection to create superior growing environments.
So nature plus protection and climate optimization. This is the actually what the Cravo do with these commercial projects.
Today.
So here you can see that this is here the retractable roof, and you can see that there is a cloudy weather outside, and you have a this crop here, apple crop here. So this this roof, it open and close as per your outside weather condition. If your conditions outside they are adverse, then it will automatically close. And if they are good, just like in the morning, evening, or daytime, then it will retract automatically. So it is a nature combination of nature, protection, and climate optimization. So here, as you see that we have this. Before going for this, we need to understand the physiology of the apple tree. So let's study the annual life cycle of the apple. So during winter, we do not have leaves. There is no growth and there is no activity. But once during the summer, when weather warm up in the month of March, April, then growth starts, flowers appear, fruits are set. During the month of July, August, June, July, August, the fruit develops and mature, and harvesting takes place in the August, September. And then again, it starts cooling during the autumn season, and leaf fall begins. And then during the winter, the tree becomes dormant again. So as the changing takes place in our environment, the changing also takes place inside the plant also. During the autumn or winter season, tree, as I explained, that tree becomes leafless and dormant for few weeks, depending upon the place. And during winter, that it received the required chilling hours below 7-degree temperature for this dormancy, which we call the dormancy actually. So during this period, the hormonal change takes place in the plant, which lead to the dormancy. And after the winter, the spring, during spring to summer, growth again start. Activity like flowering, fruiting takes place. And when the summer ends, the temperature cool down, hormonal changing again starts, and the plants leaf fall takes place. And there are different stages of the growth till maturity. First year, it's a transplantation year. Second year, it's a growing area. Top growth takes place. Third year, the shoot, leaf, and root growth takes place in the third year. And in the third year itself, we get the sample fruit also in the most of the modern orchard. not in the old orchard. That normally in the old orchard, the sample fruit takes place in the 7th or 8th year. But I am talking about these latest techniques that we are adopting. So 3rd year we get the sample fruit. 4th year we have a increased harvest, means that we have a increased size of the tree. Then we can increase, we can have a more fruit and harvest. And the 5th year we will have a full crop. Normally that the maturity in apple in the old varieties that takes place in 10th or 11th year, but now these latest spur varieties or these with the latest rootstock, now it is taking place in the 5th or 6th year. So before growing for the we need to study this actually this stage which we call the blossom growth stage, which is very important because that's actually that's how that we focus on this stage, how to manage the climate so that you can have a good flowering and fruiting during this stage. So if even there is a slight change in the temperature or something temperature, that will destroy your flower or setting. So let me give you, these are different stages that during blossom stage, the silver tip, green tip, and half-inch green. I will not go into detail, but if you see, if there is a 15-degree temperature, then the this bud will be only 10% bud will be killed. But if there is a 2-degree temperature at this stage, 90% of the buds will be killed. So this is the similar with the other stages also. So so that's why that in the open field production, that yield in India is very low or highly erratic. But if we adopt the this protected growing system or protected cropping system, then we can prevent these problems. So that's why that we need a this type of technology actually. So although it's a lot, it is a lot of technical things here. So you may get bored to hear this, but it is required actually if you are interested to seriously go ahead with the this type of technology. So we need technology because maximize the automatic detector roof and balls. It is critical to think carefully about different stages of the tree development, such as first and second year as a tree establishment year need best growing condition. Means that after transplantation, you have to focus only on the tree growth, the shoot growth, and third year as a sample year, and fifth year means that when you need to have a full crop. So when you are planning to have a good crop, good growth in the first to third year, so you need to have a congenial environment for that. So you need to protect your small trees, just like babies. So and during the year also, there are different stages like chill accumulation, flower and pollination, leaf area and fruit development, fruit ripening and harvest, post-harvest and tree recovery, and onset of endodormancy and cold acclimatization. So for this, that we need to have some strategy like how we can do that. So first, determine whether you want to advance or delay the harvest. Means that if you want to advance 2 weeks or 1 week, so that you can get the advantage of early price in the market. So you have to create a control strategy, either to accumulate heat units or prevent the heat units accumulation to shift the time of the flowering. That normally in the open field you can't do that. but in the retractable type of structure, it's very easy to do that by opening and closing the roof so that you can change the environmental condition inside the structure. Then to create the best possible seasonal condition to influence tree and crop development by increasing or decreasing the temperature of the bud, flower, leaf, fruit, and soil, as I have explained in the earlier slide also, that how you can manipulate that, and then managing the transpiration rate to ensure that uh, the trees are experiencing the optimal water status to maximize fruit development and quality during the fruiting season, and optimize the level of photosynthesis post harvest, ensure optimal tree recovery and flower bud development for the growing season. So now there are actually different stages of the orchard. So one is this orchard establishment stage that I was telling, that first 2 years that we call that orchard establishment stage, or canopy development and maturity stage, you can say. In this stage, we have this problem that climate stresses like excessive cold, wind, rain, and which cause the slow down the this tree canopy development, and tree reach the maturity stage very late. Actually, it delay the maturity stage. So we can prevent this problem by initiating the early growth in the cold springs, by closing the roof, by so that we can avoid those frost damage and protect trees from excessive wind and transpiration during the growing stage. So that can also be done by the retractable roof, by closing the roof actually. So it will increase the photosynthesis rate, causing tree to achieve canopy maturity 1 to 2 years faster. Means that normally that we get the maturity in 7th or 8th year, but with the retractable roof structure, we can achieve this maturity 1 or 2 years earlier, in the 4th or 5th year itself. So now this is a chill accumulation that this is the problem, that chill hours can be negatively affected by excessive warm or cold temperature, resulting in weak or abnormal bud breaks in spring. It will also cause the winter injury to the stem or shoot bud from extreme low temperature and wind damage. So this can be avoided, as I have explained, that by closing and opening the roof, we can manipulate the temperature and the wind. So I will not go into the detail of this. This is very highly technical. This stage also same with the bud break and flowering and pollination. Then fruit and leaf development, this stage also we have the problem, and we can by this way we can solve this problem. And then come the ripening and harvest stage. These are the problems that we face in the ripening stage and how we can solve it. So I will cut short here because it's very highly technical, so you will not be interested in those technical details. So this is the post harvest that after the harvesting, that how the tree should recover itself. So this is the problem that we face during this period, how we can achieve that, and all this actually. So I'm sorry that I have moved fast forward because it's very highly technical. So now that I will come to this the planting density and the techniques that we are adopting now in India to increase the productivity. So if you are doing a open field farming in the apple in a natural environment, means that if you are growing in a natural environment like in Himachal Pradesh or in Jammu Kashmir or in Uttarakhand, then you can adopt this type of planting density. Like you can see the picture here. Here that these plants they are planted at the spacing of 1 meter or 1.25 meter or something like that, and in the between space you have very good, you can move your tractor or something like that, but this is not possible everywhere in Himachal and Uttarakhand, but in some valley areas you can do like this. So it will promote a mechanization, it will facilitate for efficient use of your fertilizer. You can install the drip irrigation system, fertilizer you can apply through the drip, and you can also do the mechanized spray of the chemicals or fungicide, and even also harvesting very easy with this type of system, because they are not very tall, they're 10 or 12 feet tall only, so you can do manually very easily. But here there is no this protection against the climate, means that the cold or rain or hail, there is no protection in this system. But next one is that this anti-hail net system that government is promoting a big way in Himachal and Kashmir area, where you can install these anti-hail nets over the tree, and you need to have it this type of the same that high density, ultra high density planting, you have to maintain the same system, and you have a trellising system here, just like for tomato or capsicum you do in a greenhouse. So you have to do the same for the apple also, so that the load of the apple fruit doesn't tear down your branches or shoots. So in this system, you can protect your crop against the hail, but not against the rain and cold. So, although it has improved the productivity in Himachal and in Kashmir area, but still we can't manage the cold conditions or rain with the anti-hail net itself. So now this is as I was speaking about the retractable roof, you can see here in the picture. This is the picture I have taken from Australia. So in the southern part of Australia, where they are growing this apple in this type of retractable roof structure. Even in New Zealand or even some part of USA also, they are even Holland also, they are making trial or some initial investment for this type of technology. So in this technology, you can see that you can maximize the yield by protecting the orchard from weather extreme and optimize growing condition. You can change the harvest timing by several weeks to achieve to get the best price in the market. You can make it a greenhouse or make it a cooling house, depending upon the place. You can put up a different type of plastic on the roof, whether it's a cooling roof or it's a greenhouse roof. And you can follow the slope of land, which allow for covering to be installed without grading. You can see here, 4-5% slope is you can observe within the structure. So the quality of produce, and you will get a uniform quality and quantity every year in this type system. As I told you earlier in the second slide or third slide, that grower in Australia or in New Zealand, they are getting a yield of 150 tons per hectare. So we can achieve the same yield in this type of structure here itself in India also. Mechanization is very easy in this type of system, and you can also efficiently use your inputs. So this is another advantage of this retractive roof. When we put up a ultra high planting density, we can reduce the use of chemicals. There are 8 or 10 sprays that normally every grower in Himachal or Kashmir they do on the apple crop. Most of them are the fungicide actually. So because now there is a lot of awareness among the consumer that they wanted to have a residue-free fruit. So now this is the only way that you can do it by you can reduce these chemicals with by installing the retractive roof structure, because it has been proven in Holland, in the Begnan University, that the fungicide use has been reduced by 90%, and the pesticide use has been reduced by the 40 to 60% in the crop under the retractable roof. You can see this is the photograph I have taken from Holland. There is a Wageningen University that is one of the top most horticulture university in the world. So they have put up a retractable roof over the apple crop. Purpose is how to reduce the chemical spray on the apple crop. So you can see here this photograph. So this is the latest update they have shared with in the international media also, that they can reduce the use of crop protection agents by 70 to 90%. In this way, they are working towards shift from crop protection agent toward a physical and biological method to combat pest and fungal diseases. So we can also do the same by having this type of technology here in India. So I have worked out some of the yield that in different tree density in the different system. You can see that in an open field, if we are going for a ultra high density or high density, then we can have a 1100 plants per hectare if the slope of land is 15 to 25%. As most part of Himachal and Uttarakhand, we do not have a flat land, so we have a very high slopes. So maximum we can adopt 1100 plants per hectare. But in the valley area, we can increase this planting density to 4000 plants per hectare, and we can put up a anti-hail net over that also if the slope is 0 to 5% slope. In the valley area or in the sub-Himalayan area that I have mentioned, that where we can put up these low chilling variety for the production of apple. So we can install these two type of retractable roof structure. One is the flat roof and another is the X-frame. Flat roof is for a low rainfall, dry type of climate, and X-frame for this high humid, high rainfall area. So you can see here that this is the yield data that I have taken from the different projects that are going on. So first year is that plantation area, transplantation area year. Second year, in the open field, we can get 0.6 tons per hectare yield. In the anti-hail net, we can get almost more than double, even you can say the triple, 1.6 tons per hectare. And in the flat roof, we can get 2.28 tons per hectare. And in the X-frame, we get 3.3 tons. And if you see, in the 7th year, we can achieve here the 150 tons per hectare in the X-frame structure. So you can see that every year that yield is increasing here. So we can maintain our yield. We can increase every year. So this is the actually the some of the calculation that I have done on the revenue side. I will not go into detail unless anybody is interested to have more detail on this crop. So I can work out, I can share personally. But if you see that in the flat roof structure, if we consider the fifth year as a maturity year, then we can, if with this type of investment, we can achieve ROI in the sixth year itself. You can see here with the flat roof, and almost same with the X-frame structure also. So that's all, sir. Thank you very much. And it's a very totally a new concept to be adopted. And I'm available for any question and any inquiries.
Thank you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, for an excellent and detailed presentation. I now request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window so that if you don't have time to take up all the questions, you can contact the speakers separately after the meeting. Okay, now over to the participants. First question is from Mr. Shirish.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Yeah,
Welcome.
Rajendraji, good morning. This is Shirish from Hyderabad. Nice to have you on the show. Sir,
Yeah.
I mean, just wanted to understand, is there any one particular good thing about apple cultivation in India? Thank you. कोई तो अच्छी बात है?
Yes, अब नाउ अभी जो एप्पल हमारे पास जो है, तो यह है कि काफी अच्छे रेट पे, काफी सस्ते रेट पे मिल जाता है हमें खाने को. वो मुझे एक अच्छी बात लगती है, और बहुत सारी वैरायटी मिल जाती है हमें खाने को.
In English, please. There are some people who do not know Hindi also. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So means that apple is still cheap in India. That the local variety that we eat here is very easily you can get in 70, 80, 100 rupees. If you go to any for that, if you're looking for a imported type of apple, you can see the price that that is high. Or in other countries, the price is higher than our country. That's the one thing that I see.
Yes. And Rajendraji, you're based out of India. You have your presence in Delhi, or where can we actually?
I'm based in Chandigarh, sir.
All right. So, sir, you are into, I mean, what are the services or the products that we can get through your company? Thank you.
We are basically actually engineering company. That Cravo is they manufacture the retractable roof structure, and we design the growing system for a particular climate or crop. So that is our specialty. But basically, we work for the tropical climate.
Thank you. I'll come back for more questions.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Next question, Mr. Uday Kumar.
Thank you, Lakshmi sir. Good morning, Rajendra sir. This is the second time you have come for our community to share about your products.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. Do you have any this kind of retractable greenhouse in South India, and particularly apple growing? Any project?
There is no apple growing in India still under the retractable roof. We have one project in UP. They are growing blueberry under the retractable roof at Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is also you know that you are might be aware of the climate of Vrindavan. It's a hot climate, but we have a cold winter. And blueberry is basically a temperate crop, and we are 2018 that we have established a 5-acre project here. And last year we got a harvest of the blueberry from March onward till June. and it was the first harvest. So that actually prompted me to think about the other crops also.
Mr. Rajendra Kumar, you can stop sharing your screen. Mr. Rajendra Kumar. Mr. Uday Kumar, you have finished with your question?
Yes, sir. I have completed. This is only one question.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, next question, please.
Hello.
Next question.
Hello. Sorry, there
Yes,
was
Mr.
some
Raj-
interruption. Yeah, I'm back again. So
Okay, right. Thank you. Let's wait for some more questions from the participants. Yes, anyone, next question from the participants?
Lakshmipati sir, still my question, I think that remain, it's not complete actually. So we have this blueberry project under attractive roof in North India. In South India, we have 3 projects. I think most of you are aware about that. Simply Fresh we have in Arjun Patla, that's 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. Then we have this Triangle Farm in Jairabad, 15-acre project. Then we put up a first project with the Namdhari in ID Halip in the eastern part of Karnataka. But that actually for the vegetable crop, none of them for the fruit crop. But this Simply Fresh, they are trying some of the berries under the retractable roof, and they have actually produced the berries also.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for answering that. And I want to read out one question from Professor Rati from chat window. He wants to know the investment. He wants to know the investment for 5 acres and the return on investment.
Okay. So I have to share that slide again. Okay. So this slide is visible, or I have to share it again?
No, the slide is visible, but you can read it out for him. Put too small in size.
Okay. I think it will be better if actually if I can discuss this issue individually. Actually, otherwise it will be difficult for me to explain. But let me give the some of the basic number actually. So we have actually 2 type of structure that we normally do for the commercial farming. One is the flat roof, another one the X-frame structure. Flat roof is for the dry tropical climate, and X-frame is for a humid climate where rainfall is heavy. The price difference is almost one structure cost almost flat roof cost something like $30 per square meter, and the X-frame almost double that $50 to $60 per square meter. So if you see here that because apple crop you will not get ROI in 5 years, because 5 years you need to the tree to be come to the mature stage. So the best harvest takes place in the 5th year in the apple crop. You get the sample in 3rd year, and best harvest you get in the 5th year. So we consider that as a you can payback period. You have to consider actually from the 1st year of the harvest. So you can see here if you are seeing my this here. We can recover the cost in one and something in 1 year, means that 6th year we can recover the cost of this apple, and it will continue for 20 years. Although that there is initially for 5 years you will get very low in return. But 5th year onward, up to 20 years, you will continuously got you very good return in this crop. Hello.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar. I think Professor Rati must have got this answer. He also wants to know whether you got any project in Maharashtra.
We have a discussion going on with some people there. They are because this type of technology is not for you can say the small marginal farmer. So it is mostly the corporate people or some large commercial grower. They are. So I'm in discussion with some guys in Maharashtra also, but not on the fruit crop, but other crops for the vegetables.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Joseph Brito. He wants to know this. What would be the cost of a basic structure for an area of 1 hectare? Is it locally manufactured? What would be the lifespan of a Cravo retractable unit? He wants to know.
Okay, so thank you, Joseph, sir. Normally that 1 hectare of flat roof will cost around, as I told you earlier also, flat roof will cost around $32 to $35 per square meter. And 1 hectare of X-frame will cost around 45 to 50 US dollar per square meter. Actually, it all depend upon the climate, which is and specification, and what type of specification we need for that climate or to grow that crop. So normally that the plastic that we use on the roof, it is a woven cross-laminated plastic, which lasts for 10 to 12 years. So maintenance point of view, this structure is very sturdy, and we have supplied the structure to Nandari 4 years back, 5 years back. So they didn't ask anything from us in the last 5 years. So the structure is very robust structure.
But is it locally manufactured?
No, it comes from Canada, but we can manufacture locally only the steel part, but the order should be a big enough. Like that, we are having a order of 115 acre in UP, that one of the largest project that we are doing here in UP, because that is a big size project. So we have sourced the steel part here in India, but all the other roofing and roofing system, then other accessories that is coming from Canada. But project should be a big enough.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar.
Yeah, Mr. Uday Kumar, back to Mr. Uday Kumar.
Sir, I have one more question. The numbers what you are shown, is it for the investment of 1 hectare or it's a 1 acre?
1 hectare, sir.
1 acre.
Hectare.
Hectare. Thank you. So after 5 years is the payback period. That on an average it comes to 1.2 years. That's what I'm right. No.
Yeah, actually, apple tree, you know that maturity comes in the 5th year. So you have to calculate thereafter.
So,
3
so
years.
if I'm right, the numbers what is showing it will be some after 5th year. It is just a 15 months or 16 months. I can recover all my investment.
Yeah, in the first harvest also you can recover most of the loss.
Yeah, it's a 2.6 crore. Am I right? On an average, the investment comes for 1 hectare.
Pardon? Yeah, flat roof 1.6 crore, something like per hectare that I have.
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
This is per hectare cost that I have calculated here. This number.
You are clear, Mr. Uday Kumar?
Yeah, I couldn't get the number, sir. What is that rough number? Base figure?
Okay. Oh, you mean that 1.6 6-7 crore. You can, if we say in crore, then this is a 1.67 crore.
Okay.
That is the investment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But we have an increment in investment also, na? Because we operating cost every year that we have to incur. So this is the actually capital cost, basic capital cost.
Okay.
Yeah. I can,
Okay,
Uday
thank
sir,
you.
I can share this this presentation, this ROI with you if you need.
Yeah, please. I'll be messaging. I'll be emailing you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next question, please. Next question. Would like to ask the next question, please. Okay, all right. I think we have completed all the questions. Thank you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, for answering all those questions. Any further need also, they'll be writing to you. We can be, corresponding with them. Thank you. We have now completed the round of questions. I'd like to thank Mr. Rajendra Kumar once again on behalf of Agriculture Information for taking this time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Mr. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipathy. I like to thank the speaker, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.